Money. I'm
Okay.
gonna take you down. We are live. I just took you down from the stage. Take it down from the stage while you figure stuff out. Hello. Oh, you coming back? Just kidding. Hi.
Okay.
Are you good?
That's working now.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah,
Umoja.
okay. I don't know what's wrong with my connection. Umoja, guys.
Anything. Well, can like throw a heart or a heart, gosh, or a bear in the chat if you can hear us. Can you hear us? Someone said they can't hear. I just want to make sure people can hear. Umoja.
That's Johnny. Welcome, Johnny. Johnny. I see you, brother.
All right, so we'll just get our show started, and when Robbie joins, he can give an update on Umoja. We have a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff happening in the next 2 weeks. It's actually, hey Aku, we have a lot of stuff going on the next 2 weeks. Actually, our TGE for Umoja is on 10/31. If you haven't already, we dropped a X article and a Mirror blog about TGE, about our plans for TGE, our choices around that, why we chose to go the DEX route versus the centralized exchange route, and also just overall how we want to build for our users in our community. So that's one update that I feel like either way, Robbie may go over it again, but it's really important to say in the beginning. The factory also is open right now, and it's been pretty cool. There are a lot of returning factory members that are having some technical difficulties, and we're going to address that today and make sure that y'all can get points just like everybody else. Our system just reads you already finishing some stuff, which means we have to make brand new stuff for you to do. Awesome. We have another speaker coming. Hello. Hi.
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Oh, we got a full crowd. Well, let me go now. Bye, y'all. I'm just kidding.
I know with Carolina Keith and Jude, man, we're on automatic. Just let them give the
That's what I'm
insight.
saying. Like, I'm gonna bring myself down from the stage real quick. I'm gonna let the guys focus, and I'll come back up. But Robbie, I did start the call. I gave an overview. I talked a little bit to TGE, being on the 31st. But I think that, and I talked about. I didn't talk about details, but like why we're choosing a DEX over a SEX. But I think starting the call off with just laying that context out would be really cool. And then from there, Umani will take the hosting, and I will always come back up if anything's broken.
Cool. All right. No, I appreciate it. And guys, apologies for my tardiness. Just meeting at the meeting, unfortunately. But yes, why DEX over SEX? So a lot of this is counterintuitive to most people. So I'm going to give y'all a very quick history lesson in terms of how utility token launches have evolved and how that has effectively turned into a rug for retail. So, at the beginning, with the Aves, the Unis, the makers, launching on a centralized exchange first was not a thing, categorically. And it wasn't a thing because centralized exchanges didn't exist. Centralized exchanges did exist. They've long existed. They've existed since 2012, right? Even before that. And all was good, right? Now, granted, I think one of the biggest differences during that time was that ICOs were legal, right? So initial coin offerings where you set up a contract, people put a whole bunch of ETH in it, you distribute tokens, fair sale, style, and there you go, right? It's community supported. So I think the biggest difference is, at the eve of, protocol creation is that protocols actually created community. There wasn't many KOLs, or crypto Twitter wasn't well developed. So they had to actually create community, and they facilitated a fair sale to their community. And then they put that token on a DEX, right? And then later they were listed on centralized exchanges. In fact, centralized exchanges didn't even have listing procedures back then. There was no pay a marketing fee and listing fee. That didn't exist. Over time, right, we had the ICO boom, and people really saw how much money a project could raise at a particular time. Millions and millions and millions of dollars. In fact, EOS, they raised $4 billion, and they had advertisements in Times Square, right? And so this was the introduction of the KOL age, where it's like, okay, now we're going to leverage influencer marketing and just mass marketing generally to hype, a project's token, and try to get as much money as possible, right? ICOs then became pretty much illegal, and people started to transition to private sales. And private sales were with VCs, because VCs want some of this money, right? And so VCs, continued this hype cycle, continued these multi-billion-dollar valuations for protocols and networks that didn't have any product. And it became an entire, pardon my language, but bastardized value chain, where you create a protocol, everyone only cares about the token. The protocol no longer cares about creating community, because they know that they can get money elsewhere from the VCs, from the launch pads, from the KOLs, etc. And every single person, from the VC, the launch pad, the market maker, the centralized exchange, the KOLs, take a little bit, right? And they increase the token price before it's even out, right? The private sale token price. And by the time that it gets to a centralized exchange, and I'll just talk very frankly as to our experience. One, that centralized exchange is going to ask you for hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're going to say, hey, you need to give us $100,000 to list. You need to give us another $100,000 to market. And in fact, you got to give us $200,000 as security deposit just to make sure the price hits a certain thing. And so what happens is the market maker says, oh, well, no worries. If you give us 20% of the trading revenues, we'll manipulate the price so that retail thinks that this thing is going on the up and up, right? And that way you get back your security deposit and everything's good. But guys, what happens at the end of the day? Retail is screwed. You all are tricked into buying at a high artificial price that doesn't exist. And then all those other people that bought before you dump on you. And this is why so many people like meme coins more than they like utility tokens, because they've been burned so many times by projects going through this hype cycle. And so, despite, certain stakeholders, some investors being mad at us, we're going DEX first. We're going DEX first because that way everyone gets it at what it's supposed to be. And in fact, if you go to our tokenomics on our GitHub, we show you where VCs came at, where you all are at, right? And it's a very, very small difference. I think it was a 50 million FDV for VCs, and it's a 60 million FDV for everyone else. And that was way back in February, right? So we keep that very, very small. Our KOL distribution model is not money-based. We don't accept money from KOLs, right? It's all work-in, it's community-based, and we have a whole manifesto as to what we expect from them. And then afterwards, we'll list onto a sex, because and you all might not like to hear this from me. I don't care about Umoja's token price. I care about Umoja getting the adoption of YBTC, the community doing well. I care about the factory and people getting paid through the factory in USDC. And if those things happen, then Umoja increases in price because of our utility, right? You stake Umoja, you get YBTC. It's a performance rebate. So TVL increases, Umoja increases. But you have to do the work first. You have to kick the flywheel. Otherwise, what you end up doing as a project, and you see this so much in crypto, you're just going to be spending a whole bunch of marketing forever trying to make it seem like this token is so important, right, when no one's using it. And by taking this route, and I'm almost done with my whole speech, by taking this route, we have over 22,000 people in the factory, right? We have over $40 million in transaction volume. We have funds who have already committed to vesting capital in YPTC because they want to make more Bitcoin, right? Almost 20 million hard committed. And like I said before, 100 million soft circled. And we have upcoming partnerships, which we'll talk to later, with some of the top L2s that want to make sure that their chain is the chain that YBTC is on. And by doing that, when we get into Q1 2025 and we're well into the bull market, Umoja is doing well, and guarantee that everybody who participated at TGE or who was just supporting, the community generally, they're going to do well. And that validates our vision of WAGME, right? Instead of just dumping on y'all. And of course, I can't take out my tokens until like 4 years from now, so it doesn't really matter to me either way. But that's my spiel. That's the reason. I tend to be pretty transparent about these things. For those who are mad that we didn't launch on a Binance or a Coinbase, I'm sorry. We'll do that later, but at least I told you now. There you go. Well, after you, Omani.
Yeah, I mean, like, is there any other like because I received a question from one of the community,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the question was just based on, okay, so what plan do we have um to ensure that our values stay the same while
Yes.
managing sales pressure, like,
Yes.
yeah, like
Yes.
self pressure, like,
Yes. Yes. So self pressure is definitely something that I think all projects need to take into consideration. For us, um, Umoja is deflationary. So the way that it works, guys, very, very high level, right? You give us Bitcoin, we give you YBTC. Now you can make money on your Bitcoin, right? Simple enough. Eventually, you're going to want to get your underlying Bitcoin back, right? You know, you'll be like, okay, YBTC, I've waited for a few months or a year, a few years. I want my accrued yield and my Bitcoin back. So in order to do that, you have to burn your YBTC. You delete it, and then we give you back your Bitcoin. But in order to do that, you have to burn Umoja as well. And so that naturally means that as Umoja's TVL increases, the number of burns are going to increase because people are going to be redeeming their collateral, you know, whenever they want, right? And so over time, Umoja is effectively deleted, right? The token supply goes like this. It's parabolic. It goes down like this. And so that's why it's so important. We are only focused on smart coins. We want the adoption of smart coins and increase TVL because we know if we do that, more people are going to redeem. And so Umoja's supply is going to go down. The second thing that maintains prices, it's called a performance fee rebate. So all that means is that Umoja redistributes its revenue back to Umoja stakers, right? So we make 18% off the APYs, right? The interest that YBTC holders make, right? So we make a clip of that, and then for anyone who stakes Umoja to the protocol, they don't make more Umoja tokens. They earn YBTC. That's a redistribution of revenues back to you, right? So it's called a rebate. So why is that important? That's important because if your TVL is increasing, and because your TVL is increasing, more redemptions are happening. So your burn is increasing, meaning that the token supply is going down. Your performance fees are increasing, meaning that there is more money that you can get by staking your Umoja. So there is an inherent link to the amount of Bitcoin staked to the Umoja protocol and the amount of money you can get in Bitcoin from staking Umoja. And again, over time, the supply is going down. That means there is less Umoja to be staked for more Bitcoin. And so that's effectively how it works. So that's why I say bold things like, I don't care about token price, because we already have an inherent link. If you add speculation onto that, right? And let's say we hit our goals of 100 million, by Q1 2025. Well, then, that's a premium, right? That's a premium on the existing value that you already get from it from staking. And hopefully that premium is great. Trust me. I mean, I would love for it to, go up, right? I'm vested too. So, but that's that's how it works. I'm aligned like y'all. And in fact, y'all can actually use your Umoja. I can't even use it. So I'm really vested. I'm vested for the long term. So, but yeah, that's how that works.
yeah, okay.
I think the way I think the way the incentive is designed, that is the incentive for smart coin minters, you wouldn't want to sell your Umoja, right? Because when redeeming, you will still need it. So I think from the onset, besides maybe the Umoja coming from maybe VCs or people who bought earlier, I don't think there's no more supply is going to come in. Yeah. So I think from the point where people start minting smart coins, that Umoja, they want to stake it, because if they're going to redeem their smart coin, they will of course burn it with extra 0.1 to 0.5%. So I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and absolutely, and increasingly, guys, and I've had a conversation with some of y'all in the OG chats as well. We're going to have new tokenomics is not a set thing, right? It's something that should evolve over time, and I get irritated with protocols that don't think about how they can change their tokenomics to attend to sell pressure and these other things. But we're going to have a lot of gamified incentives, potentially around burning Umoja on purpose. So burn to earn, right? Where someone burns Umoja in the near term and they earn 2 Umoja from doing that. These type of incentives combat emissions based or inflations based incentives of the past, where you're just putting out a whole bunch of tokens for somebody doing something that's not necessarily meaningful. The last thing that I would say is again, guys, if you mint YBTC, you earn Umoja. That's the only way to earn it. Outside of the factory and the airdrop, that is the only way that you can earn it. So again, it incentivizes that flywheel, right? Of do what our value proposition says that we're going to do, right? Democratize wealth creating tools for everyone first. Everyone WAGMEs when that value proposition is hit.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Omni, go ahead.
I mean, my internet is just breaking. I don't know what's kind of wrong there. So sometimes I hear you, sometimes I don't. It's just like very, very annoying. Yeah. So I mean, Jude, I've been following Jude YouTube channel, and I would just like to hear from you, what strategy do you think like a protocol can kind of use, or like what strategy do you think like can help a protocol address like managing sales pressure? I mean, I just would like to hear your thoughts.
I personally, I would love to hear from Jude and Carolina Keith on this, but I personally think that, and I've had a lot of discussions in terms of the expectations that people have in terms of what the token is going to give them and how that reflects in the market, right? And I think that the dichotomy that we're seeing right now is that outside of the premiums, right? Let's just put ETH, SOL, and BTC. Those are the premiums. That's in a different category, and maybe XRP as well. Outside of the premiums, you got the rest of the altcoins and you got meme coins. Meme coins don't promise anything. Everybody knows that. So meme coins are just about community and get money quick and just wag me that way effectively. And so the moral debt is low. I think for utility tokens can no longer succeed on a promise. That ain't gonna work. That was 5 years ago, right? When all this was new. So increasingly, honestly, if a utility token isn't redistributing revenues in some way, or it's attaching itself to one being deflationary and two providing someone some really good value that is not that token, then it's likely going to go down in value. And if you look at Binance, even the tier 1 exchanges, see, all people always like to look at TGE performance on that first day of listing or the first week. You know why they do that? Is because in the first 8 months, that thing goes right back to where it was before. It goes like this. So, and the reason is because that speculative period is over. People are on to the next thing. So you need something that sustainably links your token to real value that is not that token. The more things that you can exchange for that token, it increases value. The more things that you can borrow using that token as collateral, it gives that token value, right? Everything else, is not going to work. And again, unless it's a meme coin, in which there's no promise to begin with. But dude, Carolina Keith, I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on that.
I mean, Crypto Mom is also here.
What's up, Crypto Mom? How you doing, girl?
Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for inviting me. I'm not a morning person, but I tried.
You good? You still made it. It's 10:22. You still got an hour and a half.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Miss Brenda's my spirit female. She's my favorite.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But Carolina Keith. Real quick.
Carolina Keith, Jude. So
yeah. What are your thoughts on this, man? Because I know you're on the technical analysis side.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jude. So you go ahead first, please.
I didn't quite get the question. Could you just repeat it?
Yeah. The question for you. Okay, go ahead, Omani. Go ahead.
No, take the lead.
Oh, so the question that he asked was, how do you think a utility token should be formed in today's market? Like, what's the suggestion around how they should be formed given market expectations and such?
I've always have the opinion that most utility tokens are not actually utility tokens, because you see tokens, they'll just say it's governance token. And I mean, how do they like you can actually do without a token, right? And so I look at very few protocol, maybe like Ethereum or BNB, having the blockchain itself cannot function without that particular token. So many projects I've come across, they'll just say, okay, we have a utility token, but you can do without it. I do ask them, you can do without this stuff. So why have a token? They want to have a token because they just want to have a token. But when we had the live on Telegram the other day, I actually went back and read your white paper. I was like, wow, this is actually good. I went back because I read it one time, but I saw that there has been some update, especially with regards to the smart coin that is coming out. So I think that when you have a utility token, it should answer its name. It should actually be useful in the protocol. It should be something that the protocol cannot do without. In other words, if you're having a protocol, the token that you say is utility in the protocol, there's no way it shouldn't function without it. So I think that is what Umoja has done, and I've seen that with some protocol, and I think that is exactly how tokens that are meant to be data tokens should function. That is just it.
What about you, Carolina? Keith, I appreciate the kind words, dude. I appreciate you.
So people don't know this. I switched to technical analysis, but before I did technical analysis, I did fundamental stuff like you're talking about. And I decided a long time ago that I wanted to try to get into finance. And it started with stocks, bonds, equities, different stuff on that end, because first, what it's worth, crypto just wasn't a thing yet. That being said, what you just described was great inside baseball for people who don't understand. You just explained to people why retail loses almost every single time, but they'd have to go back and rewatch that a few times to take it all in. It's very crucial to understand what he just said. You asked, what would I do to ensure that a utility token, a company that uses a utility token actually made sure, first and foremost, the team gets nothing, not a single dollar, zero, zip, nada. You can't give anybody anything. There has to be 100% all circulating supply released right off the top. I know that sounds crazy, but if you're going to keep anything behind, it has to be an extremely long lockup period. And I'll give you an example. Great example is any company traded on the NASDAQ. Anyone who works for a company on the NASDAQ who receives shares has to hold those shares for a vested amount of time before they can do anything with them. And if they are able to do anything with them, they have to go through the right circuit. They have to go through the right circuits to even get rid of what they have, which doesn't ensure you can even get rid of it if you want to. That doesn't exist in crypto. When a company decides they're going to do something, then they give, for instance, there's 5 of us in here right now. They give each one of us 10,000 tokens, and then they release the thing. We're free to rip it. We're free to let it ride and fall it off the cliff. Why don't we care? Well, it's not up to us. Our company doesn't matter whether or not the token does well or not. So what do we care? We got paid. The difference is on the stock market, if you're issued shares, you're a part owner of the company and you start selling shares, it looks really, really, really bad for your company, which will affect your company's bottom dollar. And the difference in crypto is that quite simply doesn't exist yet. A lot of companies aren't big time or known. If you want to get down to it, there's really 2 blue chips, Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it's only just now in the past few months that they've become blue chips, quote unquote, in my opinion, based on the fact that now they're publicly traded. Now they're on ETS. Everybody's retirement account can have crypto in it now, but only 2 of them. There are some approvals in the works for others, but there are only 2 right now. And those 2 are established. You could argue about Ethereum and say that there was some behind the scenes stuff happening. Whatever. Argue all you want. I don't mind. The point is, those are the only 2. And now, for what it's worth, those 2 are stuck in a bit of a rut here where you can't just get rid of it. You have to hang on to it. That helps us because the market sees a large uptick when people can't get rid of it. That sets the floor higher. And a little bit later, if you want to, I can show you a chart to kind of explain what I mean to go by that. But you explained this very, very well. This explains a lot and explains why I don't spend a lot of time reading white papers and doing that stuff, because Most of these companies are making a quote unquote utility that's not even real utility, has nothing to do with their company. It's just, as you said, making a coin to make a coin. That's exactly right. You just want money. It's a money grab. If it doesn't do something and affect the company's bottom dollar, it's not real. It's just their way of making cash and not taking money out of the business.
Yeah. Could not say it better. What about you, Crypto Mom? Any thoughts in terms of that? Because I know you deep in this, girl. I know you deep in it. Okay.
I actually like Kit's answer. And all the answers that came through. Um, for now, I think I'll just piggyback on what he said. So yeah, we can skip. We can go to the next question.
Okay, cool. Omni, back to you, man.
He's typing. Hang on.
Okay.
I can tell his internet's having a hard time, but there it goes. I can see him freeze up for a second and come back.
Yeah, like, can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, attending the questions. Let me look up the agenda real quick. I can EMC in his stead. What's that? So we've gone over some updates, some speaker questions. I think actually we can. Let's see. Yes, let's transition to market insights. So, Mr. Keith, Sir Keith.
Oh, okay.
Please,
okay.
Provide us, the guide.
I'm going to share screen here for a second so you can see visually what I'm talking about. All right. What I've got, let me know if you can see it and when it's shared out. All right, sweet. There you go. So what you have is 3 charts side by side. I'll explain what they are. On the left is 2016 Bitcoin post-halving, the green line that you see this vertical is having. On the right, that's 2020 post-halving. You can see the lines on the right. In the center, most importantly, right now, currently, this is Bitcoin, only Bitcoin. I got a few things that I want to talk about here on this, but if you look closely, there are these horizontal lines. Doesn't seem to mean much to most people, but these are mathematical Fibonacci lines. They give us a waypoint on the chart. If you can remember back when you were in middle school and you learned how to plot a point on a chart. So you had an x-axis and a y-axis. The teacher would give you something that looked like 4,3, and that meant you go right 3 up, right 4 up 3, right? Or 3,3, you go right 3 up 3, and that was a way of plotting a point on a chart. Those Fibonacci lines that you see, the horizontal white and red lines, those are point markers on the chart that are line form. So like, example, the lines where you see underneath the words here, this is 1.272. So 1.272, comma 1. Essentially, this shows us where we are on a chart with a grid and lets us know how far ahead or behind we are any given time. Which point is the highest, quote unquote? Well, at the exact same point in 2016 and 2020 as compared to now, I've highlighted it with the red box. Having those ETFs has sent us up one stairway higher than we were at the exact same time the last 2 cycles. I'll say that again. We are one stair step higher than we were the previous 2 cycles. That does not mean that we're going exponentially higher in general. It just means we're a stair step higher, which means we're farther along than we were before. Now, how much farther? That's the really cool part. So the red box down here is 0.618 to 0.71. So if that was a X and Y chart, it would be 0.618, comma 1, and 0.68, comma 1, 0.7, comma 1. It's just vertically how far up did it go. The red box shows you that at the same time 8 years ago, we were inside this at around 0.68. On the right, 2020, same situation. At this time in 2020, we were at about 0.68, about 0.71. Now we are at 100%, one previous all-time high, just about right now. We are at 1. So that's 30% higher than we were in 2020 and 2016. We are 30% ahead of the curve here. I know that sounds crazy to everyone. It sounds weird, More so visually, you can see it with the red boxes because I highlighted that area so everyone can see it simply and easily. This is great because this has never happened before. We've never been 30% up. Now, the hard part has been the last few months, everyone's had to sit and deal with the grind dead sideways. Oh man, this sucks. Things have changed. Why is this happening? Shouldn't we be pumping? No, we are 30% higher than we were the same time before. Isn't that great? I think that's amazing. Do you not realize how much more progress that is compared to before? 30% of 2 trillion, that's a lot of money. And that's just what's come in and set the higher floor. Now that we have a higher floor, guess what we get on top of that? A higher ceiling. Great news. I think still end of the year shows me 6 figures or right near 6 figures. I did the math on this last night and then I slept for a couple hours. 101 to 102 is actually the technical number that I'm looking for, but you got to call that 100 because that's the next close round number and round numbers matter. Looks to me like 6 figures by the end of the year.
Jeez.
If we're 6 figures by the end of the year, that gives us an opportunity to be more closer to 135 to 175 by tax time. I know that sounds weird, and you don't know that. That's you're guessing. I wish I was guessing, and I'm not. We're a little bit ahead of the curve here because we have points on the chart to look at. That's the beauty. Anybody can do this, by the way. It's not just me saying it. I want you to go back and look at what I'm talking about and see if I'm lying or not. Call me out if I am. We can talk about it. But that shows me we're heading north, and we're probably going to stay on an up and to the right trajectory for the next multiple weeks. Elections are coming up. I think you guys can read polls and see what it's going to do for crypto. I don't need to say who will win or who will lose. You can figure that out on your own. You can go to Polymarket and really lose your mind. Do what you want. But it looks like things are going to go up for the next several weeks, all the way toward the end of the year. Beginning of the year, we should get a pullback. It's happened each cycle before, which is this area right up here in 2016. And then the area right up here in 2020. Both of those were pullbacks at the beginning of the year. I picked the wrong spot on 2016. It was over here. You see that's January. And you got January over here. Same thing. Last 2 cycles, it pulled back at the beginning of the year. I'm expecting that to happen again. We'll figure out how much when it gets there. We're not there yet. Little baby steps here are great. Last thing I'll show you is Bitcoin dominance. And this is the coolest thing. One of the most accurate things we were able to chart was Bitcoin dominance. This is the amount of money that Bitcoin has in it according to the rest of the market. So of all the money in crypto, right now, 59% of it is in Bitcoin. Of all the money in crypto, 59%. This is the highest it's been since 2020. It's been doing this for the last 3 days. This is the highest point it's been since 2020. The most amount of money Bitcoin's had in it since 2020. That directly reflects to the all-time high that we're about to break here in the next week or two. I think this tops out between, same thing I was talking about earlier, the X and the Y axis. I think this tops out at 0.68 or 0.71. Back in 2020, this exact same thing happened almost at the exact same time. If you look right here is October in 2020, and we are steady trending up just like we did in October. We had a rollback in December, and this thing stopped right at the end of the year and peaked out right at the exact top of the year in 2020. January 4th, 2020 was the absolute dead top for Bitcoin. And then all of a sudden it took a big fall. Oh no, Bitcoin's not. No, this was just money. Instead of only going to Bitcoin, it started going to altcoins. This is when we should see what people really want to see, which is what I see every single day. A new influencer or Cole holler, alt season. No, it's not. That's a lie. We'll be in alt season more toward the end of the year, the beginning of next year. Like the peak will absolutely happen. We'll have a transition where everyone learns about economics and learns about trickle-down economics, because it's going to happen with Bitcoin. The money will trickle down to Ethereum. It'll trickle down to Binance Coin, XRP, AVAX, Solana. It'll trickle down to the mid caps like Mana Filecoin, Theta, bunch of others. It'll trickle down to lower coins like Credi, Demetra, Vi. It'll trickle down to new stuff like what Umoja's making. All this is going to happen. It's only a matter of time. I know that was a whole mouthful to take in. This is an extremely exciting time for the TA people over here. I can't sleep. So
That's amazing.
Any questions? Just well, I'll start with questions or comments with Crypto Mom and Jude, and then Omani, if you can check the comments to see if there's any questions from the audience. So, audience, now's your time for some questions in terms of orienting yourself around the market. But Jude, Crypto Mom, would love to hear y'all's comments or just thoughts in general.
Yeah, so market analysis done with the chart showing the last three cycles. I'm quite well. I do like the fact that we are probably looking at maybe the best cycle so far yet. It doesn't feel like it though, because I got in 2020, and right after halving, it probably was 3 months. And I was looking at your chart within, I think, August. DeFi summer started July.
Mhm.
This year we probably, after halving, we've been bearish. I mean, it's been bear since. So why do we have that, even though there's a lot of inflow to Bitcoin? Is retail not here yet, or what do you see on the chart? Is just because you say 58% is still in Bitcoin, that means people are still worried that the markets are not ready for them to uh re, um to move their money from this safer asset to more like riskier plays. What
Right.
do you say to that?
Let me take it a step farther. Most likely, it'll never be as risky as it was. And the reason is now we have a mega amount of money that's just going to sit in retirement accounts for the next 20 years. That money's never coming out. It's going to stay in there for a very, very, very long time until either the people retire or they give the money to their children, which doesn't happen as much as people just retiring and using that money for later on. That's a vast, large swath of money. Van Eck and all those guys who started the ETFs, that money's just going to sit there, which is great for us. In the meantime, it's going to slow things down across the board, though. We really won't have all that trickle until next year. People, I say people, but it's not really people. The market doesn't trust anything except the big dogs at first. The trust for everything else comes after the big dogs do well and people have profits. The market has profits to use on other things. People don't like to take risks. The market doesn't like to take risks with their initial money. They like to take low risks with their initial money. When they make profits, oh, that's when they start rolling the dice. Just like in Vegas. You go to Vegas and you hit on the first crap roll. Oh, man, let's double down. Money gone. You learn, oh, crap, if I hit, I'm picking that money and put it in my pocket, and then I'll play with house money. You learned your lesson after 5 minutes, right? The same thing applies to the crypto market. I can actually show you DeFi. Let me see. I have a DeFi dominance chart, which shows us how much money is in DeFi and how much money is total DeFi. Yeah, here's DeFi. This is the total money in DeFi. Right now it's 79 billion. I can erase good support. I was charting this way back in 22. As you said, summer of, it looks like, well, September 20, really this thing started in 2020 and really took off and never stopped. We haven't had the same aggressive slope that we had back then. It's been more gradual. In fact, if we chart this out and look for points on a chart, like waypoints on a chart like we did a minute ago, at this point, right, this is August, September, October. In 2020, we were so far higher than we are now. In fact, I'll show you exactly how much farther we were. This is the top of 21. We'll pull that down. It'll give us waypoints. I got to put extra pieces in here because I took them out to show you. All right, right now we are at about the 50 Fibonacci fib, which is about a halfway recovery of the losses. This thing lost everything on the way down, and it's recovered half of it, 0.5. Okay. Same time last time, not only had we recovered, but we were all the way up here in the take profit levels trying to figure out where we were going to stop and get profits out and use them somewhere else. That's how much farther along the market was back then as compared to now. And I don't think things will be the same as they were then. I think we're going to have to wait on that trickle down because, quite simply, there is no new money just laying around like there was after COVID when people was getting stimulus checks just handed to them. That was money that they were actually going to have to pay back later. They didn't realize that, but nonetheless, they had cash at hand. Let's go buy some stuff. Why not, right? Well, the same thing isn't happening this time. And this time, you're going to get more of a traditional style bull run. Now that we have 26,000 plus cryptos, we have to wait on that trickle down. This is why I made sure I bought a bunch of Bitcoin and not like last time where I had no Bitcoin. I really loaded up on it this time because I wanted to make sure I got a piece of that. Does that mean altcoins won't have a bull run? That's not true. Altcoins will still do well. We can use Total 3 for that. Total 3 is everything minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is everything else minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. As you see, we're about 55% recovery between the 50 fib and the 618 right there. That's about a 55% recovery from the bear market. Not bad, not amazing. We were all the way up to 72%. Give it time. We'll likely break above this all-time high. I think we see 2 trillion come into altcoins, quote unquote, which is everything but Bitcoin and Ethereum. $2 trillion in altcoins means we probably have a $5 trillion at least market cap total, and we're at 2.2 right now. So y'all can do the math on that. That's at least double of what we have in it. That doesn't mean that we won't go higher. That's just a quick baseline on where we're at so far. I'll know more at the end of the year, going into tax time. That'll be where my next waypoint clicks. Kind of like a map. I got waypoints, and when that waypoint hits, I'll know how much time we have left and about how much farther we're going to go. We're all going to make a ton of money, though. I want y'all to know that. We're all going to kill it here, so be prepared.
Oh, I love that. Me and you've been saying this since last year.
Yep.
We gotta do that. We
Ain't
gotta
nothing
do
changed
that.
with the date.
I know. Thank you so much for that broad explanation. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking.
So,
All right.
okay. So, okay, Jude.
Should I go?
Yeah, Jude. Yeah, go ahead, Jude.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want some, maybe insight from Keith on some. If you look back at, I think my question is, when is retail really coming in? Like retail, don't you think they've been burned? Like, is this season going to go without them? See what I mean? People have analyzed the previous cycle differently. So after the Bitcoin halving, we have some months passed, and we have the bull season. That is how it has been. But what happened? Bitcoin ETF got approved before the halving, so the market, Bitcoin soared, right? It got to 72,000 or thereabouts, and then it came down. So people are now like confused, like, okay, has this happened? Are we gone past that? Is it happening again? So people are more like, okay, when is it coming back? Then we then have meme coins. It is now, compared to the previous cycle, it wasn't as easy to create coins than it is right now. So anybody can just go create a coin like this very, very minute. As we're having this live, someone can just go create a coin, call it something, and just launch it on pop.phone or numerous platforms. You can launch it. And so the markets has kind of been diluted, right? Diluted by these numerous meme coins, and a lot of retailers have been burned. So do you still think that we're going to have this cycle after all these challenges that are out there?
Right.
Give me your thoughts on that.
So you're not wrong. You're right about it, but I want to shift the way you said it and give it a different narrative here and see if you come up with a different conclusion. So in 2020, we had a rash of new money because the government just handed out trillions of dollars. Here you go, everybody. Spend this money. And everyone did. Most people did anyway. Some smart people held on to it, put it in a bond, put it in a savings account, made interest. But most people didn't. At the same time, Bitcoin teased breaking all-time high and then broke all-time high. When you see all-time high pop up on the screen, that's when most people react. So far, all we did was tickle all-time high, and we didn't stay there for more than a day. It went right back down after it hit all-time high and pulled back. The difference is it got up to that new shelf and stopped. That made people wonder, well, I'll wait a week and give it a week. I'll give it 2 weeks. And then it never did anything. So retail, quite simply, just waits. Oh, by the way, since I've started talking about crypto, there's this new coin that popped up. Man, look at this. Everybody's saying, quote unquote, it's going to go way up. Great. Then they lose. All right. Now, for the seasoned person who's learned about meme coins and knows how to go on Solidarity and make a meme coin or how to copy Shib's code or whatever it is, you figured out how to do that. After you make the money, what do you do with it? You go and buy Solana or Bitcoin or Ethereum and you put the money in that. And then you go back and do another meme coin. So even though you're doing quote unquote meme coins, you artificially create a market cap out of nothing and move that money over from where it came, Solana, Ethereum, etc. They made it into it, bought a meme coin. Then they took the money, sent it right back to Solana when they made profits. It looks like market cap exists when it doesn't sometimes. That money just goes back to the old school coins that are way up in value right now. People have thought, hey, this is a good idea. We'll keep doing this. In the last few months, people have lost a ton of money on meme coins. So they've died off a lot. As Bitcoin starts to drag altcoins back up, you'll see a humongous flare up back on meme coins again. If you thought it was bad the first time, it wasn't even a full-on bull run. Wait till we get above all-time high with Bitcoin and we start approaching 80,000, 90,000, and that six-figure number, oh, that's crucial. Because when we get to that six-figure number, which we will get to, when we get there, that's when people start having euphoria. And that's right about the time where I start selling because I don't care what people feel. I only care about making money. When everyone gets all happy and excited and their heart starts pounding out of their chest, I'm sitting over here with my mouse in my hand, waiting to click sell. I promise you I will be. And not only will I be, but guys who are way meaner than me will be. That hasn't happened yet, but it's gonna. It's like watching a car crash come in slow motion. I can see it. I'm sitting over here in the Tesla watching the camera. We know when they got that camera show. I'm watching it going, oh no, here it comes. That hasn't happened yet. It will, and I don't think meme coins will take much from the space. They'll hurt people afterwards, but all that money goes back to traditional coins later. That money is just going to go back in them because they're going to make their money. They're going to buy Solana and they're going to ride it up, or they're going to buy Ethereum and ride it up. Arbitrum, whichever one you want to use. And I think all those, for what it's worth, those layer ones where the meme coins are built, I think they're all going to do killer. I think they're all going to do Say, Sui, all those. Sui's a new one. A lot of people are hyping it right now. New layer one. Watch that thing fly. They're going to make more meme coins on it. Watch it fly. And I'm sitting in Sui right now, so that's cool with me.
All right. All right.
Next, yeah, go ahead. On the
factory. So factory updates. Over the past few months, we have hit 233. I mean,
say it again. I couldn't hear.
Take yourself off mute, Omani.
Some questions popped up real quick. I'll answer them.
Go ahead.
C. Young says, so you're saying meme coin cycle is short-lived? Absolutely. It has a finite amount of time. And if you're not in first, you're last and you lose. It's very simple with meme coins. And someone said that's not going to happen. I have well over six figures that says it will. And if you'd like to go money for money, we can go money for money, but that's a really bad idea. You don't want to do that. And that usually makes people stop when you say something like that. For anyone who's on here, if you'd like to take $1,000 and put it on Polymarket head to head with me, I'm happy to take your money. You don't want to do that, but I'm happy to do it. So keep your money, go buy something, save it for Umoja, go put it on Bitcoin and earn YBTC. Do something like that rather than donate your money to me. That's a terrible idea. Use your money for you. And that's not me being cocky. That's 100% the chart. I don't care. My opinion is pointless. This is all data-based information. It's all data-based.
Go ahead, Omani.
So sorry, my network kind of broke up a bit. Over the last 2 months, just kind of like giving you guys factory overview. So the milestone we have we currently have, like, overall we have 23,000 people participating in the factory, like, over the last 2 months, and they have earned 1.7 over the total emojis earned. The accumulation of the total emojis earned is 1.7 million. So, and shout out to everyone that have been participating in the factory from the beginning. And if you guys don't know what the factory is, so the factory is an invite only community. You can only join if you are invited, and you can earn rewards by just like contributing to the engagement, doing shifts, and yeah, so you can earn rewards by just contributing to engagement, doing some tags, and at the end of the day, I mean, this is the fourth round now. So on every weekly, we release out $3,000 USDC to those who participate based on the rules released on that round. Yeah. So and if you guys want to join, I mean, some of us might be new. We have some new guys here on the call. If you want to join, I will send the link right now to the live. You can join via the link. And if you still don't know how to join, or you just want to get started, or you need a guide on how to get started, so just join our community on Discord and Telegram. We have our modes there that will kind of like guide you on how to go about it. But yeah, so if you are currently participating in the factory, I'm giving out points. So for those who joined the call from the beginning to the end, the for you to claim your point for participating in the call, um,
Rob, there's a good
can you
question in there for you too. What's the difference between Bitcoin and YBTC?
Yes, I can absolutely attend to that, and I appreciate you calling that out. So Bitcoin, just normal Bitcoin, nothing new about it. YBTC, yield-bearing Bitcoin, meaning that you earn 5 to 10% APY in Bitcoin. It is fully principal protected. What does that mean? That means that the Bitcoin that you put into YBTC to mint it, you cannot lose. There are no negative APYs. So YBTC is just a way to make money on your Bitcoin. Make your Bitcoin, make more Bitcoin.
The second question was for me, any chance money flows into AI tokens? If you take away the letters AI, the answer is absolutely yes. It'll go into all tokens. Money will flow down the mountain from Bitcoin into everything. And AI coins will do well, but it's not just AI coins. It's almost anything. We tend to put narratives and buy what we want to buy based on what we've read about or whatever. If you remove that AI and just say tokens, it's way easier to do it that way because it will flow. Now, will that narrative have a thing to it? Absolutely, it will. But I don't want that to sway your bias. Having your bias swayed, it creates emotions and it makes you make bad answers, bad decisions. And I don't want to see anybody make any bad decisions.
So I'm just gonna like wrap up my update. So if you oh sorry. So I just currently turn off my camera because I don't know, my network is kind of like going on and off. If you participate in the factory, we have a tax on if you are currently participating in the factory, so we have a tax on the factory for joining the call. So the keyword, the secret word for joining the community call is smart coins. Smart coins. So I'll put that in the chat. So smart coins. Yeah, so just go to the factory, type in smart coins, and get your point. And lastly, I'll be announcing yeah, 3 random winners. Let me just quickly get the names. So 3 random winners. So Dynamite, congratulations, Dwayne, congratulations, and Oluwatobi, congratulations. So you guys are the winner for today's community call. So just go to our Discord channel or Discord community and open a ticket and just like forward your info, and you'll be given instruction on how to claim your reward. So I think that's more of the big updates I have for you guys on my end today. So I would just like to ask our guests, do you guys have any key takeaway for the community before we wrap it up?
Any other questions, guys? Smart coins. Oh, the code. Did you tell them the code? Tell them the code again.
Yeah. Smart coins. Yeah, smart coins.
Okay,
So I typed in the chat. I can do that again.
So guys, the code is smart coins to get them points.
Congrats to the winners.
Absolutely.
Yes, congrats to the winners.
My last thing, everyone make a plan now. Get prepared. Make your plan now. Don't make your plan later. Get a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen or whatever and make a plan right now. Write it down. How you're going to handle this. And if you don't know what to do, ask some of us because that's what we do for a living.
Yeah. So Keith, I have a question for you before you go. So utility tokens, meme coins, which do you think is going to come out top this season? Because yeah, go ahead.
Which one do I think? Which ones do I think will make the most money, or which ones do I think will have the most money in them?
Make
Both questions.
both.
Because there's two different. Which ones will make the most money? Meme coins will make the most money. Utility coins will have the most money in them, because the money never stays in meme coins. It goes there for a week and then never comes back. There'll be a ton of gains made, but they're going to take those gains and buy utility tokens with them, which is why it works out that way. And I'm hopeful that it goes perfect. There'll be bumps in the road. It won't go exactly like I want it to. But that's kind of where I see it going. Meme coins are never going away, by the way.
Sure.
I have one funny question before we close.
Sure.
So is there going to be a coin that will do more better than Bitcoin? I mean, is there going to be like
everything will make more? I say everything. That's not fair. 90% of coins will make more money than Bitcoin. Bitcoin will be the slowest grandpa of the bunch, and it'll still do 200% probably. So that's still amazing returns, because if you were to buy shares in something and live off dividends, you're getting 3 or 4% a year. We're about to get 100 and 200 and 300% maybe on Bitcoin. That's amazing. That being said, Ethereum will do more than that. Solana will do more than that. AVAX will do more than that. FTM will do more than that. They'll all have more X. That's the problem with Bitcoin. It's got so much money in it now that the percentages are lower. Still good, but lower.
So wait, my Wi-Fi cut out right away. So which token you say is gonna make the most money? I missed that part.
Oh, sorry. Meme coins will make the most money. Utility coins will have the most money in them.
Okay. Which
because money comes out of meme coins and goes into something better.
So which from a percentage return perspective, which is you saying SUI? I mean, it seems like you're bullish on SUI and AVAX.
Oh, a particular coin?
Yeah. What's your pick?
Between the two, which will make more X's? AVAX will make more X's than SUI will, but SUI will have a higher price. Yeah. No, not necessarily higher price. The chart will look crazier, but the percentages will be less. There's more money in it. SUI, whichever one's got the lower market cap will have more X's, because they're almost identical code-wise.
Yeah.
What about Polygon? What's going on with Paul? Since they moved from Marik to Paul.
Oh, so Lord have mercy. Lord Jesus. This is the third time. This is the third time they've changed their name to try to spur.
So annoying.
Yeah, this is if you remember back in the day, they were POLY.
Yeah.
And then they switched to Matic, and now they're POL. That's a good marketing play, but it didn't work. The thing hasn't moved at all. I think, let me pull it up real fast, and I'll tell you, I got it charted because I have money in Matic, and it's, my God, what a bad idea.
A lot.
So if I give me 2 seconds, and I'll pull the time zone here because I want to see too, because I'm not sure on what the time zone says. It looks like, gosh, I got to pull it different. Hold on. I know this is taking them. I wasn't prepared for Polygon. Looks like we are maybe a week or two away from a week away from a breakout of 5 days to a week from a breakout. And then we should hit a top right around the beginning of the year. I'm hoping that gets back to at least 53 cents by the end of the year. It's a high probability it gets there at least. The problem is getting over that because there's heavy resistance all through there. Matic is Polygon is one of the few I'm down on. I didn't want to sell it because I had it paired with Bund, and I thought, well, I'll just leave it on MetaMask, and this is one I'll leave alone. Gosh, well, that was a face
we've
punch.
Been having a brutal. It's every time you try to get up, and even when you market, it's useless if the token's at 37 cents. We want it to at least go to 72, so it can make sense for us.
74, I think's a solid number too. 53 and 74 would be great by the end of the year, because those are two mathematical points on the chart where that's resistance, and that's probably going to slow it down. That's another reason XRP sucks as bad as it does. It's full of resistance. Everybody thinks
talking trash about XRP.
Yeah, he really did.
Real quick.
XRP.
So look, if y'all watch the live streams, y'all know what's up. There's only 3 things I'll chart on live streams: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. Why is that? Because 60% of everybody who watches anything on YouTube watches for XRP. Would you believe that?
True.
Really?
Google tells me that. Google tells me that. So I'm like, well, damn, I got to market to XRP a little bit, but there's nothing good to say. So what do you say? You got to keep it real. I can't lie to you. So I'm just going to tell you what's up. And this thing looks terrible. And one day it'll get better. But for now, I'm sorry. Y'all gonna have to deal with making no money while everybody else gets paid.
It's actually worse that the co-founder put
Right.
$1 million on Harris. Anyway, I
Dude,
just said what I did.
exactly. Figure that out. If we're so bullish crypto, why are we giving the other people money?
Thank you. They just sued you. Like the SEC just sued you. Why are you gonna pay them $1 million?
Yeah,
For
the
why?
people who sued you, you give $1
people
million
who sued
to and be like y'all. What? I bet you won't put that money on poly markets. Of course they won't, because then they'll lose it. Right?
I know, right?
So yeah, I don't hate XRP. It's just the relentless, nonstop lies that get told. I have a hard time with that. I got to keep it real. That's what I do. I don't have a. When you've been lied to so long, you gain a level of understanding that everyone's lying, and I can't do that. I can't be a part of that.
Yeah.
When you get BS'd, you learn how to not get BS'd anymore. You figure it out real quick, just like I talked about with the craps. You roll a 7, you go, I'm a winner. Then you instantly lose. Like, I can't do that again. You learn. Well, people haven't learned in the XRP space. They're stuck on it. That's how I started. Thank God I was able to let go and walk away from it, because that allowed me to make so much more money. I said this back in the day. I made my initial money on XRP. I bought it 28 cents. I sold it. I made good money. If I held on to my initial money right now, I bought $6,000 worth. I would have $12,000, everybody. Is that enough money for me to do this full time? The answer is unequivocally no. No. So if I was still holding the XRP today, I would have the exact same amount of money. Nothing.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I can't handle that. And that's not cool for me. It's not cool for y'all.
True.
That being said, buy XRP if you like it.
I mean, that was great. I'll be wrapping up with this. So if you're a gamer and you like game and you won't mind getting money for a coffee, I don't know, maybe after the call we have game night. So in our Discord community, if you're a gamer and you like games so much and you want to have fun, so you can just join our Discord community. And also we have anime night tomorrow. If you're an anime fan, you like anime a lot, you watch anime, so we have anime night tomorrow. So you can join us. You can get points apart from the incentive attached to it, the rewards attached to it. You can also get points participating in this event, and that will kind of like rank you up. So with this, I think we can close up, guys.
I think
Jude,
do you care for one more question? Sorry, I'm dragging this a little bit longer.
For me?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
let's have it.
All right, yeah. Hold it real quick.
Let's have it.
Real quick. Check it out. I know all this sounds crazy, and I know what y'all are thinking when y'all hear me, and you're like, whatever. This is just one guy's opinion. I would agree. I might sound crazy, and it might just be one guy's opinion. So go check back on me. Go look at what I'm saying. Go read the data. Don't believe me. Please go do your own thing and understand that I'm not coming from an opinion perspective. This is just factual data that I'm giving you. Subjective versus objective. I'm going to hit you with the objective 10 out of 10. I want to get that out first. Sorry. Go ahead.
All right. So Telegram. Everybody is going to Telegram. Telegram has been kind of embodying a lot of people into Web3. And we have like exchanges right now, just building the application, or more like doing a copycat of what others are doing. So do you think what is the relevance of this? Are they going to fizzle out?
So I actually moved away from Telegram. The only people that talk to Telegram are Rob, Kasima, and Brenda. That's it. I don't talk to anybody else. Those are the only 3 people I even talk to in there. The reason I did that was the mass amount of scammers that impersonate me, change their name to my name with a space behind it so it looks like me, and they get money from people. It sucks. It happened last week. Somebody got $8,000 from somebody who was a friend of mine that lost $8,000, a personal friend. I'm like, how did you fall for that, dude? You have my cell phone number. What are you doing? But recently, Telegram's been in the middle of a lot of controversy worldwide. The whole Russia stuff, moving messages from Ukraine and Russia, and then they were integrated by Interpol. I believe NATO was involved. They confiscated a lot of messages and stuff. So I'm not sure how far Telegram goes, to be honest with you. Some people like me have already moved away from it just because you don't want any part of the drama. That being said, they have a token, Tailcoin. I haven't looked at the chart on that in a minute. I own some of that. That's terrible, isn't it? I own it and I haven't looked. But some of this stuff I try not to look at. I try not to like think about it too much. Telegram's near cycle lows on price. But we're about to get a break. It's about to break out with everything else. For 0047 makes sense. That would be 2.5. That's a lot of money. How much is that? 0047. That's 200%. That's great. 200+%. So there's a lot of gains in the chart. You're just taking a heavy risk. And there's also a lot of, by the way, I'll say this now. I'm a pro trader. I do this for a living. This is all I do all day long, nonstop, 24/7. I sleep and I dream about this stuff and it sucks. I don't expect anybody to do what I do. Okay. That being said, if you see signal groups and copy trading on Telegram, what are you thinking? Do you actually think you're going to make money on that? Do you actually think that's real and that's how money's made? Please don't fall for any of that. If you see someone who looks like me saying they're me and that they have copy trading, please block them because I guarantee you that's not me. All right. Guarantee. I don't want anybody to fall for that stuff. There's a long answer. Sorry, but I wanted to tie that in with the chart too.
All
right. So I was actually, my question was actually on what they are doing in regards to Web3. Like they have integrated a wallet. You can have a wallet. They have, yes, I know there are a lot of scammers now, but
my bad. I totally missed that part. I'm sorry.
Good.
But that's not bad. None of that stuff's bad. I totally missed that. I'm sorry. That's not bad. What I'll say is the fact that they're doing that and they're using Tailcoin as the wallet gas. Aren't they using Tailcoin as the wallet gas?
It's Ton.
Yeah, Ton. I'm sorry. Wrong coin. Same thing. They're using that as a wallet gas, though, correct? So that makes it deflationary if they're using it as a wallet gas and it burns whenever the transactions happen, which is great. That's fine. I hope that continues, and I hope there's not a situation where a couple people have a bunch of tokens stacked in the side, like I was talking about earlier, because then the utility's ruined. You know what I mean? Unless there's a long vested period where they're holding, they're stuck holding. I hope that happens, but I can't guarantee that's the case. I'm not a Web3 sleuth when it comes to wallet addresses. I can get down, but I'm not a pro at that, so I don't know how many people hold certain amounts. That stuff always worries me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't hate it. I like the idea. There's going to be more of this stuff happen too, by the way. Almost everyone who's big in the space are going to develop their own wallets, which is a great idea because then it keeps stuff on your protocol instead of Binance or Coinbase or it keeps it on your protocol, which can't be bad for business.
And they now monetize groups. You can have your groups now. Creators can earn from Telegram basically, just the way you do on YouTube and other platforms.
Yeah.
So that's all right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've tried using Restream to go to all platforms at one time. It just doesn't work right with Telegram. That's why I don't do it.
But just like you said, what I think they should work on is how to mitigate against. There are so many scammers on Telegram that just.
I didn't mean to go that way. I'm sorry, but it's true.
Much. Like a lot. There's a lot of them.
That is just the major problem I see with Telegram.
So Carl and Nikki, I would love you to drop. I mean, a lot of people here want to follow you on X. So I would love you to drop your X handle. Okay.
And so I'm pretty much the same everywhere. Carolina Keith _1 everywhere. Instagram, X, Discord. I'm the same everywhere. The only one that's different is YouTube because I couldn't use that name for YouTube. On YouTube, it's TA with Keith Lay. That's my real name, everyone. Feel free to Google me. And when you Google my criminal background, be prepared because I was a dick back in the day. Okay?
Yeah, man. All is forgiven.
Be real about it. Well, let's keep it real, right? I was a bad guy back in the day, back when I was 18, but I'm not 18 no more. I'm over 40 now. I got 2 kids and a wife. I'm well past that. So
yeah,
someone's gonna look it up. So hell with it.
Yeah. I mean that's good. Guys, so just wrapping up. So, like I said, join our Discord. We have game night after the call. So join our Discord community. If you're already there, be prepared. Be prepared. So after the game night, after the community call, we are going to play some games. Have fun. So guys, thank you all for joining. Thank you, Jude. Thank you, Kanana Kid. Thank you, Crypto Mom, for joining the call. Thanks to all you Mojans for also joining the call. I will see you in the chat. I will see you next week. Peace, guys.
Peace,
Thank
guys.
y'all. Don't
Yes.
burn CDs.
Yeah.